Uh, we are seeing something called BAGMAN. I have not heard of it. Do you like my new dangle nose ring? I posted about it earlier and I got lots of shit for it. Not in the comments of that, but on my Instagram. Uh, yeah, so we will not be, I won't have the camera on the screen. I'll have the camera on me. Uh, that way we're not breaking copyright rules. And I will just be talking and letting you know what happens in the movie. But I also am going to do my makeup because I don't know how boring this movie is going to be. And I always have to have a second activity ready to go because otherwise it's just a whole thing. Um, do I start with my hair or my makeup? Let's go hair that way. My hair is like, what? I knocked over one of my lights. Um, but yeah, this way my hair is ready to rumble, and I look fairly nice throughout a lot of it versus only looking nice right at the end. Uh, oh yeah, this is my makeup bag. It's pretty sick. My nails look fantastic right now. Ugh. So it's a Amazon commercial right now. Not interested. All right. I'm thinking that my hair, the solution to it looking terrible is that uh, you can't see it very well. So I'm thinking if I just leave it down, maybe I middle part it. That way I look like one of the cool Gen Z girls. It is really gross. I had dry shampoo in my car, but now I don't. Uh, that's what I get for cleaning my car earlier. It's dumb as hell. This is not working for me. I'm not middle parting it. This is, I think, the best it's going to get for right now. And then after my makeup is done, it'll look better. Okay. I'm taking, oh, geez, that's much better. Uh, I just couldn't listen to commercials, so I was taking my headphones out while that commercial was happening. Because I do not give a shit and I don't want to be part of that. Uh, we shall keep messing with my light. Cool beans. Very fun. I should tape that light down. I should think about that, but I'm not smart. Oh, Paddington. I like him because he's a bear like me. What up, little buddy? It's not even a commercial for Paddington. It's like Entertainment Tonight about him or something. I don't fucking know. All right, under eye concealer first. Let's go. Oh, goodbye, viewer that I had for a moment. Oh, hello, two viewers that I have now. How are you guys doing? I hope you are doing wonderfully. My under eye concealer melted in the car, so now it's just this tiny bit. The commercials are still going before the movie, so we haven't gotten to start the movie yet. I am thinking in this makeup look, though, I will do my rhinestone freckles. I'm a really big fan of rhinestone freckles since I did it last time here. Uh, yeah, and I'm just going to use my camera as my mirror. It's going to be great. I have no idea what this movie's about, and uh, I also don't have my mod here, so I don't know if my sound works. But that's okay. We'll figure it out when somebody lets us know that it doesn't. Oh, is this a commercial for another Walking Dead? There's no way. There's literally no way that this is another Walking Dead series. It's, I mean, it is, uh, but it's just Daryl and Carol. I forgot that. Daryl Dixon, the book of something. Oh my God, Daryl got his own show. I can't believe he wasn't even in the uh, comic books and he ended up getting his own show entirely. It's crazy that he got cast on the show. That just goes to show you that you should always aim for shit that you are not qualified for, and then you might get it. Who knows? So Daryl Dixon got his own show. Anything is possible. I truly believe it. All right. Is this? It's starting. It's saying thank you for watching. And then it's talking about, ooh, the drive in. They don't have a little thing telling you to get concessions, though. And you think they would. They're just leaving money on the table. Ooh, it's going to be a trail. Why are they showing trailers at the drive in? They never do this. I mean, that's cool and everything. Uh, it's some girl. She's like, come to me, hear my call. And then somebody grabs her by the throat and she's screaming. Oh, this is a preview for Nosferatu. Okay, well, I've already seen the preview for Nosferatu because I went to an actual movie theater and saw actual movies. I expect the drive in to not have stupid. Hi, how are you? I'm using my lipstick as blush, don't mind me. Uh, but yeah, I went to a normal movie. You're good? What are you up to tonight? Where are you at in this big wide world? You also don't have to tell me that. You don't have to go ahead and dox your city. Just being polite. Uh, I think that Willem Dafoe is perfect casting for a Nosferatu movie. Jeez Louise, somebody was really thinking. You're in Texas, just got off school and I'm on fall break. Oh, congrats. You're on fall break now. That's so much nicer. And I'm glad that you agree about Willem Dafoe. I almost called him by his real name, William Dafoe. I mean, I have no problem going by a name that's not your name. I mean, I go by Grizzly and have for 13 years. But uh, Willem Dafoe changed his name from William Dafoe to Willem because somebody called him that and he said it sounded vaguely European and liked it, which I think is an incredible reason to change your name. Ooh, movies starting. All right. Why do you go by Grizzly? It started as a joke and then it stuck. um, I was squatting in a house and I wouldn't tell anybody my real name. And I had a lighter with a bear on it. And they just started calling me Grizzly eventually for something to call me. So that's my name now. Okay, so we open on slow music and a baseball field. And we're just zooming in. And there's a older man and a boy. uh you think I'm 22? Hell yeah, I am 32. So you gave me 10 extra years, thank you, my guy. Okay. uh uh this kid is saying uh that okay, so the dad, something happened where this kid rode their bike through a storm drain. Something bad happened there. And he's like, is that why you're carrying around Bunny Bear again? No way. Don't say. um Hell yeah, dude, that's what's up. uh but yeah, 32 is pretty sick. I'm really enjoying it. I just turned 32 a few weeks ago. So, all right, the little kid looks at Bunny Bear real longingly and sets it in the trunk. The point is, the dad was like, oh, I want you to get rid of things. Okay, now they walked out into the street, and every light is flickering and turning off, uh, Dumbledore style. This movie is called Bagman. I'd never heard of it, but I love seeing movies that I've never heard of at the drive-in. This kid is now walking around the darkened streets that I imagine bad Dumbledore deluminated. Uh, and the kid's like, Dad, 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 are you here? and they appear to have walked into a, weird small room. Uh, Bootleg movies, lol. Dude, uh, seeing stuff at the drive-in is the most fun. And now somebody turned their headlights on the movie screen, so I can't technically see what's happening. The dad, the oh Jesus, oh, who's getting stabbed? Is it the kid? Oh my God, or eaten, either stabbed with claws or oh, and then they got put inside a bag and slowly zipped up as they were screaming. Um, yeah, now it's a title sequence. Uh, um, uh, I got Kiyoshi still hanging out, but yeah. Uh, okay. The I'm trying to. What's with the look? I'm not sure what look. Uh, my the look like the aesthetic here or a look that I'm making at the screen because I am looking horrified at the screen because that was really weird. I'm hoping that this is one where like a lot of shit just keeps happening because that makes for fun horror movies at the drive-in. The slow builds really no, I'm not allowed to show a movie, especially one that's still in theaters, because it's breaking copyright rules, and then my stream will get shut down. So that's why I'm just going to describe what's in the movie the entire time. It's not nearly as fun for anybody. It was like, screw YouTube. Bro, I agree. I watched Now You See Me with just, it was playing on a screen behind me and it didn't even have the audio on, and that video is not available anymore. That's been taken down uh for copyright reasons. And I'm like, bro, that sucks. Like, I really liked that video. Um it's showing like lore and stuff illustrated. Um Word, I'll see you later. Uh, yeah, it's showing, ew, it's showing like a monster eating a foot, but illustrated. Gross. Uh, okay. And then it cuts to the back of a trash truck. Some child is screaming. Or is that a recorder? That's a recorder being played, not a child screaming. Let it be known how great recorders are that you can mistake them for children's screams. Okay. This little child has told his mom that she looks awful. Uh, okay. The mom and dad who have the son are discussing how the dad didn't sleep because there was like deer or something in the backyard, which means it was probably the monster. The mom is saying that she has like a baby shower or some shit with her sister. Oh, and the small child climbed through the doggy door. Something's crawling through a doggy door later in this movie because that child just demonstrated that it is possible. Okay, so now they're all walking into this friend's house, and she said that the stuff in her freezer was defrosted. If this is like a monster, that is the weirdest possible thing for a monster to do. Okay, now the dads are talking in the backyard, and they're like, probably just a possum. And he's like, sounded like a person to me. And he's like, well, maybe kids are fornicating in the woods like they used to. Like, okay. And he's like, no, it sounded like one person. Uh, and he showed his friend some logos, but I don't know what for. Now he's like, hey, check this out. Is he? Oh, it's some. He's like, finally got the mechanics working perfect. And it's a machine that goes up and wraps around a tree and cuts all the limbs off of a tree. Fascinating. He's talking about he needs just a little bit more time on it. But that's crazy that he was like, oh, I've got the design perfect. The brother's like, I thought we agreed you were going to let this go. You were going to get those loans paid off. So he's like, whatever you say, boss, and crankily closes his computer. And it's like, buddy, if you owe him money or other people, why are you so pissed about it? The wife is uh Bad Inventor's wife. Bad Inventor is the father of the child who's bad at recording. The child's maybe like 3, so I wouldn't necessarily shame the kid for being bad at recorder. But she's complaining to somebody else about her husband's failed designs and how bad of an inventor he is. So, like, all right, bitch, it's pretty intense, but okay. Um, Now it's nighttime. Everybody's turning off the lights and going to bed. And dad is walking outside with a trash bag, staying on theme, Bagman. Uh, and I'm gonna be real. I can't 100% see what he is doing. Uh, it's all right. Oh, he's moving the trash cans. And then all the lights flicker. Ooh, the lights flickered. The lights flickered the first time somebody got taken by the Bagman. I'm wondering if the Bagman's gonna take this dude. And he seemed to put the child in a bag, but like, I think he just like tried to kill the last dad. So I'm curious what Bagman's MO is, you know? Uh, uh, the dad is now just slowly walking around looking for the source of the noise. And he's like, he got scared and stopped for a minute, but then he was like, screw this, and turned on his flashlight, which I don't know why he wouldn't have done that in the first place and shown it over in the general direction of where he's hearing sound. But who am I to say? Okay, he's like, hey, listen, he's yelling back to he's like, explain to me what you guys are putting out here. What does that mean? Uh, and he's like, don't blame me if I bash somebody's face in because you don't want to get caught. He's just got like a normal stick. Hey, buddy, I hate to tell you it's not dense enough to bash somebody's face in. Oh, it was a possum. It was a possum who jumped at him. And now this man is running for his fucking life. Okay, I get a possum. You can I I'm not saying to kick a possum. Don't kick possums, but like you could is my point. It feels like the Chucky thing again, where it's like you can't run that fast from something that much smaller than you. That's silly. You just look silly doing it. Uh, Man is back home. We've cut to the morning. There's construction happening. They work at a lumber mill. Makes sense that the one guy's been trying to figure out how to whatchamacallit. Uh, I'm just going to go ahead and say that the dad dude's friend who's working with him is his brother. I'm not sure that that's the case, but they look similar. Uh, He's saying, like, I'm sorry you had to give up on your designs, but at least you did something. Uh, the dad's talking about how every time or since they've been back, he's just positive that his kid is going to get kidnapped and he's been like worrying about it. Uh, and the brother's like, you know who I blame for that shit? And then they didn't say, oh, okay, hell yeah. He's like, I could really use him right now. And he's like, yep, you and me both, brother. Knew he was his brother. They lost their dad. They didn't say, well, a lot of that stuff flat out. So that makes it at least not the worst writing. Um, okay, we're flashing back to the brothers, and they're in like a quarry or something. Oh, no, no, no. They're in that weird spot where the little girl said that she went back there and something bad happened. So now, yeah, these kids are back there. And I wonder what bad thing's going to happen because they grew up. We know that they grow up. So the older brother's like, I dare you to go over there to some scary little cave. And he's like, a double dog dare you. I'll tell everybody you're a pussy. I'm like, okay, well, that sucks. I don't like that at all. Don't do that. Uh, the child is scared and doesn't want to walk into the cave, which is reasonable. And he's like, I want to go home. And the older brother's like, yeah, yeah, me too. Wait. And then he's like, holy crap. That's a something something tree. And he's like, who cares? And he goes, Grandpa says it's the softest wood in the world. Incredible line. So now the kid is walking directly over to the terrifying cave, and the older brother's like, get away from that, the cave that he just double dog dared him to go into. And the kid is also like trying to pull this tree, uh, or trying to get some of this tree so that he can carve it. Oh, I didn't express that he wanted the wood, the soft wood, because he likes carving stuff. That's what he's just been doing. So the kid to get a piece of this wood to carve. Oh, oh no. Oh, somebody's coming up behind the kid with scissors now and cuts off part of his hat. His hat. And then he drops his stuff and now the thing is gone. Okay, what a weird thing to do with scissors, cut off the top of somebody's hat, but okay. Uh, all right, so that little kid was the dad. I'll learn dad's name at some point, but I'm fine just calling him dad. Now the mom's in the backyard pushing their child on the swing, and she's like, "Oh, I'm too tired. I'm sorry. I gotta stop you." And she's like, come on, let's go over here. And somebody's watching them from the bushes. We know because we got a shot from behind some bushes. Uh, oh no, now the mom is working on something on her computer while the little kid is whistling on the annoying recorder and walking around. And the mom's like, Jakey, stop. And then she's like, I said stop. Uh, And now she's going to go back to playing on her computer. And this little kid is going to be walking around near the woods where the dad is terrified that he's going to get abducted. I'm like, yeah, well, you guys are not doing a great job watching him if you just want him quietly walking around outside out of your sight. You don't do that, but okay. Oh, ew. There's children's giggling coming from the bushes. Oh, and it looked like a very small child waved it. the little boy, Jakey, that's his name. Oh, now the mom's like, Jake, who could have seen that this child would disappear? Uh, Maybe she should have been fucking watching him at any point. She's like, Jakey, if you don't come out in 3 seconds, no dessert tonight, okay? It's like, hey, bro, your husband's been terrified that your son's gonna get abducted, and you just made him be quiet so that you could focus on your work while he's walking around outside. So now he's walked into the woods and is whistling on his little recorder, which is awesome because it can alert the mom to where he is. Oh, terrifying. So he found the little kid. Oh, he heard the little giggling that was coming from the woods. Now we got a Dutch angle going. Oh God, something's gonna happen. Uh, Little kid is walking up to a sinister looking tree as the other little kid, the one who may or may not exist, oh, is like, hello, we're here. And like, ooh, look at this. And now poor Jakey walked around the corner. And the mom's like running around screaming for him. And oh, she heard the whistle. She heard the whistle. She heard the whistle. And now cool, she found Jake. All right, sick. Good job. Way to really fumble watching your kid, bro. Uh, but what's it? She's looking inside a tree. She gets distracted by looking at the tree. I wonder what's happening with the tree. Part of the tree did something, but I'm not entirely sure what. Um, but okay. We're doing, we do brown under eye makeup and then a white line because that's what some makeup tutorials said to do, and I'm nothing if not a follower. Uh, Dad is playing with Jakey now. Uh, the dad's real worried. And I would be too. Okay. It's getting Jakey ready for bed. They're joking around together. It's real cute. And it's just a montage of Jakey playing with the parents and then putting him to bed. I wonder if the Bagman's gonna come tonight. They're singing him a little song. I bet I can do my eyeliner right now because they're just in a montage. Let's see if I mess this up. And then the dad's like, you want to watch that show your sister was telling us about? Now they're just talking about 250 movies we've never actually watched. What does that mean? Do they just have like a list of movies that they want to watch? And he's like, what's wrong? And I wonder if she's going to tell him now that she lost Jakey today, because I bet he'll be pissed. It's his biggest fear. I mean, it's every parent's biggest fear. Yup. She goes, I almost lost him today. And he's like, lost him how? And she's like, I was trying to work and he was just playing the stupid recorder and I lost it. I snapped. I took my eye off him for 1 second and he wandered into the woods. And she's like, ooh, now the lights are flickering again. But that means the Bagman is back. All right, lights flickering. And she asked her husband, are we going to be okay? It's like, is he going to divorce her? Because his biggest fear is losing the child and she almost lost the child. I don't know. Who's to say? Are these remotely even? No, they're not. So the dad's back to whittling again. Uh, and he got an email. Uh, and he's really shocked by the email. I can't see who it's from or read what it says, because why would I be able to? Why do they expect when they put text on screen for all of us to be able to read it? He looks upset though. He's holding a knife. I knew he was going to stab the knife into the table, but he did, and it broke, looks like. Uh, and he slowly puts it down. He's now really upset about what he's done, it appears. Stabbed the table. Okay, he's really fucking upset. So I'm guessing it was an email letting him know that they've not accepted his cool ass design for cutting down tree limbs. He angrily clicks out. He clicks out of all of his things. Jakey is his. Oh, yep. Jakey's his background. I watch him, or watching him drag the file that's probably named his work stuff into the trash, thus letting us know that his work is done now and this is all that he can do and that it's getting shut down. Uh, Bro, he broke that knife right in half and then put the knife directly in the trash. As soon as you take that trash bag out, you're fucking yourself up. Oh, the child's talking to somebody, and the dad sees somebody's back on the child monitor. And the dad walked in and goes, "Hey, who are you talking to, buddy?" And the child's pointing to nothing. Or the child's pointing towards the window. So, uh, okay. He points towards the window, but like there aren't blinds on the window or anything. And if you're so worried about your child, maybe don't have your windows wide the fuck open. Okay, now the dad's opening. So the dad, so that the kid will get some air for a moment, opens the window. Ah, I don't understand why he would do that. And now he finally closes the blinds. Wonderful. Uh, what's the next part of my makeup? Uh, I need highlighter, then I need mascara, then I need to make my uh, rhinestone freckles. The dad is back in the house now. He went to look outside for a second, it appears. But now he's back slowly walking around his house. There is something afoot. There was some knocking on something. So he's going and opening another window. If you think there's somebody in your house, why is your solution to open windows? That doesn't make any sense. Now he hears some weird clicking sound and we get the music that lets us know that a horror thing is going to happen. The I keep like looking over this way to look at the thing better. You go live like every night. I have to go, "Aw, thank you. That's so nice of you." I will try to stream more because I would really like to. I have a really good time with it. So, yeah, I hope you have a really wonderful night. Thanks for asking that. I really appreciate you watching. Uh, Go ahead and leave a like if you'd like, but also it doesn't matter if you don't. I don't even know how YouTube does those, but I think it helps with the algorithm. Um, the dad is now woken the mom up and he's like, "Listen for this weird sipping sound or zipping sound, like a bag opening and closing." All right. But uh Yeah, Kiyoshi, I hope you sleep really wonderful and have a freaking awesome night. Oh, now there's a loud sound. The mom's immediately calling 911 and the child is crying. I appreciate that she's calling 911 at like the first sign of stuff going wrong because that's kind of what you should do in a horror movie. And they never do that. Now the dad's walking downstairs and he's telling the mom, like, stay inside. And it's like, just don't go outside. Get your gun and hide. Is that too hard? I like how I'm from the South, so I'm just assuming that he has a gun for protection. He has a family, so I don't see why he wouldn't. But okay. I feel like I could have done a better job getting hot. I feel like I got my daytime level of makeup done and not a nighttime look. But we're going to put on some of this orange lipstick and then we're going to put on the rhinestones. Okay, so the dad's now outside, or no, he's down in the kitchen. Everything's really dark. There's the music that lets us know that horror stuff is happening. Okay, you know how I was like, oh, he gets his gun. I assume he has a gun because I'm from the South and he has a family. No, he has a baseball bat. And now he's outside and the swing is swinging. And he's like, you want to mess with me, man? I'm right here. I'm right here. And now he hears the sound of zipping. Ew. It's just, I don't like the sound of zipping that's happening. It's like really slow and weird. And he's having a flashback to when he was a kid. Uh, it must be a similar noise as he heard back in the day. Uh, oh, and now the mom walked outside carrying the daughter. And she's like, what's going on? And she's scared. And she's like, you okay, babe? If she's scared, why? If you think there's an intruder, you don't run outside chasing him down with a baseball bat, and you sure as shit don't then bring your child outside to go see what's up with the intruder. That's and then the cop who's there watching shakes his hand and goes, I'd say welcome back, but somebody beat me to the punch. He means the intruder. Okay. uh the dad's just telling the cop that like the doors were locked, blah blah blah. They're running through all that. Okay. uh and uh the they were like, uh they must have seen the length of your grass and decided you were out of town. And it's like, I'm sorry, officer, you the head of the HOA too? Okay. uh he's telling them to look around and let him know if there's anything where it shouldn't be, anything out of place. uh I don't know what burglar comes in and just slightly rearranges things in a way that's still clean, but okay. uh the cop is saying a lot of these break-ins that look like an ulterior motive to robbery generally like to send a message. It's like, what does that mean? Like, but okay. uh and the cop's like, let me know if you remember anything else. So okay. uh there's a puzzle piece on the ceiling. Oh, the cops are like showing. Oh, geez, Louise. Uh, He's just showing how somebody could have broken into his house. Now the cops are taking all that stuff. Okay, cool beans. The little kid is playing his annoying ass recorder again. And you'd think that it would bother the mom, but at this point, seeing as how she lost her child because she told him to stop with the recorder, she's probably happy hearing the recorder sounds now, ain't she? Knowing that the recorder means that your child's close by, like, actually, and you didn't lose him. Good job. Okay. Uh, the dad looks in his trash and finds an owl that he whittled, but he's like remembering now whittling that owl and throwing it away where he was. So that's terrifying. Um, there. Oh, the dad asks the mom. She appears to be inventorying everything in their house. And the dad's like, "Where did you find this?" And pulls out the owl. Oh, he says it's one of the first things he ever carved. He's like, "Lost it years ago. You threw it on the ground. You've been whittling since you were a small child, and it showed footage of you throwing it somewhere." Okay. The wife the wife is having the dad get rid of the recorder, and he's like, "Oh, but it's Jakey's favorite thing." And she's like, "He needs to find a new favorite thing, a quieter thing, because I'm losing my mind." Like, okay. Uh so the dad's puts down the recorder. I wonder if the dad whittled the recorder for the kid. And now the child's trying to play a game with the dad. Oh, he's saying flute. I couldn't tell what word this little kid was saying. Uh, okay. Uh, the dad's going to get the flute and leaving the child in the tub. Yo, do they love leaving this child in dangerous situations? They're just like so about it, because this is terrible. You do not leave a small child in a tub, you idiots. Even if this wasn't a horror movie, that's just bad parenting. That's simply terrible parenting. And he's still calling for him. The dad's like, "You okay, Jakey?" And he's like, "I'm okay." But, it takes like a very short amount of time. Okay, something hit their window where the kid is in the bathroom and is slamming up against the window. And the dad's like, "You okay, Jake? You know how short of a time it takes for a child to drown in the tub? What is wrong with you guys? This is horrifying." And now the dad's like screaming for Jake again. Oh, there's like a gross hand coming underneath the window, and it's opening the window. The lights are off, and they go inside and they're like asking the kid, like, "Who are you playing with?" And they heard the window open. I would not be just totally positive that nobody came in, because it appears to me somebody who is going to go ahead and assume that it's not supernatural when I'm in this scenario. I would just assume somebody's trying to abduct my kid, and I would certainly watch the kid a lot harder then, because they're like, "Oh, it appears to be an ulterior motive from robbery." Well, it's like, okay, well, you have a small child, and the burglar keeps coming to the room where the little kid is. Maybe you have a child abductor on your hands rather than a burglar, but who am I? Uh, uh, I need to turn my camera slightly so that every time I like lean ahead like this, you can actually see me. uh, they put the little kid down to sleep in his room where there was a clear roof leading up to his room. I would keep the little kid in my room for just like a couple of days, you know, seeing as how what you think is a burglar tried to use scaring your child as a distraction. And that's your best case scenario because you're not assuming that it's something supernatural. Now dad's name is Patrick. We found that out now. We now know what the dad's name is. Uh, oh, and his dad is talking to him in this flashback, and his dad is extremely Irish. So look at that. Uh, Patrick nowadays in modern times, his phone is ringing now and it's showing us another text on screen that my eyes are not good enough to read. Why do they put such tiny text on screen and expect me to read it from wherever I am in the theater? Or rather than where I am in the theater, just where I am at the drive-in. Because I don't have the ability with people who have their headlights on to actually see what's happening uh, most of the time, let alone what's happening with text on screen. This one's too far down. I gotta move it up a little bit. It's coming together. It's getting there. We need a bunch more small ones. Teeny tiny freckles. Uh, the dad now walks outside because he's really stupid and just trying to get hurt. It's nighttime and he's just wandering around, which seems to me like a poor decision, but okay. When your child almost got abducted this past week, maybe like don't go walking around alone at night. But again, as always, who am I to say? Uh, is that one too big to put there? No, I think that works. Little teeny tiny one there. I'll do a couple more on the bridge of my nose. And then maybe a teeny tiny one there. The dad is now walking around alone at night outside with a flashlight, so at least he incorporated a flashlight finally uh, into his searching for a burglar just alone at night. A thing that seems not wise to me. Okay, so the flashlight lands on uh, a rocking chair that has a doll in it that's wearing the hat that got cut when he was a little kid. The doll is a wooden doll that appears to be carved, and it is fucking horrifying. It's very scary. And the dad pulls down the hat, and it gives us a flashback to let us know that that is, in fact, the same hat. He drops the doll because it giggles, I think, or he at least hears a giggling sound and drops the doll. Like, oh my god, screw you. And now he's walking away. Is he going back to the house? He's trying to find what's going on, and then he's just scaring the shit out of himself. And I'm like, yeah, it seems like you're gonna keep doing that if you're looking for scary shit alone at night. But again, what the fuck do I know? I think I put that one a little high. I think right there is a reasonable spot. Maybe a couple small ones right here. Where are the teeny ones? The dad is literally still walking around alone at night outside. I got nothing to add to his nonsense. Cause what the fuck? Alright. He's trying to get into some small space, or he's climbing. Got another Dutch angle, and we're hearing weird sounds. And the music got sinister again. The dad goes in through the doggy door and is screaming for his wife. But all the lights are out and she's not responding. You think you just would have. He's like, "Did you turn the lights off?" And now she's like, Pat, what's going on?" I'm like, "Bitch, fuck if I know." And he's telling her, "Go back inside, lock the door." I don't trust her to listen to that, seeing as how last time you told her to go inside and lock the door, she brought your child outside to try to find the intruder too. So, like, maybe she's not the best at listening. I think those are some pretty good rhinestone freckles. I think that's pretty solid. Maybe I put a couple. Oh, all the lights turned back on and their alarm went off. And now the cops are back. He's like, "No fingerprints. Nothing in the backyard came up a match." He's like, "Power company observed 13 different interruptions, but uh, the power companies say it's not their fault." And the cops like, "And nothing missing from the house. You haven't seen a new person, like a new cable guy or anything." Okay. Patrick's telling the cop, like, uh, "My kid has a musical instrument that I might have thrown out by mistake. Uh, he's saying where he found it. Oh, he's like, "I could have sworn I heard it being played last night." So he's thinking somebody took it out of their garbage can, which is terrifying. Again, this all sounds to me like not something supernatural, but a kidnapper who's trying to get your child and trying to lure them out with the little recorder that he loves so much. So, like, you'd think you'd maybe be a little bit more wary of that, but okay. Uh, Now the dad, Patrick's, back at work, and he's like, "I gotta show you something," to his brother, and he pulls out the little owl and hands it to his brother. He's like, "That's the only owl I ever made. Do you remember where I lost it?" He lost it at the weird quarry like thing. Uh, and the brother's like, "Don't tell me you went back there." He's like, "No, I found it in a trash bin yesterday." Dad's like, "How is it possible?" He's like, "It's not. But look what else I found in Mom's garage." And it's uh, the hat. I wonder if it shows it cut. Uh, yeah, looks like it. Brother's like, "What are you saying, Patty?" He's like, "I don't know. You explain it." And he's like, "Mom has a knack for finding lost stuff. Keep digging through that house, and I guarantee you'll find all sorts of crazy shit." Okay. Like, maybe in the meantime, though, I think you should give that shrink a call. Like, what's her name? Mary? Like, Barbara? Okay. He's like, "Something's been gobbling you up for a long time now, and she always seemed to help back in the day." Okay, so he's gonna go see his old therapist, Barbara. Now, right now, it's just a drone shot. I wish more, like, scary things were happening. I was kind of hoping that it would be one of those ones that wasn't like, oh, slow, spooky buildup, but I guess we got a slow, spooky buildup movie. Uh, and those are really good. I love those movies. Just slow, spooky buildup movies are rarely good for drive-ins, or for streaming from the drive-in, really. Jakey brought his mom a present, and it's a wrapped up letter, and she's like, okay. And she's just holding it. What a bad mom, bro. And she's letting him, she's working while he's running around the park. Um, she opens it, and it's a drawing, and her child is out of her sight again. It's a drawing of them at their house, and now she's like looking at her son in the tunnel, and he goes out of sight, and she's like, Jakey, get out of there. Dude, she is so bad at watching her child. And now some creepy hand, some creepy man uh has come up, and she's like, get the hell away from my son. Oh, it's the BAGMAN, and he's gross, and he has put Jakey in a bag, and the mom unzips it. Oh, this was a dream that Patrick was having. Okay, so Patrick has dreamt of the BAGMAN. Okay. And now he hears his kid crying on the baby monitor again. So, multiple times now, you've had something sketchy happen with your child, and he's still leaving the kid alone. Okay, now they're with the shrink. And the shrink is telling them that the issue that they have is anxiety, that they need to learn to let the kids out of their sight again. I disagree that that is their problem. I would say, in fact, that. Oh, Lumi. I can't remember her last name. I worked with her. She gave me a bottle of wine. Um, she's fantastic, dude. Um, yeah, dude, Lumi. Oh, I love her. Okay, anyway, she's playing the therapist. Um, who's giving them bad advice that they just need to not freak out and allow their child space. But it's like, no, you giving your child space is what got him almost killed in the first place. The dad is oh what the hell? um it's a flashback of Patrick and his very Irish dad, and they walk out to where the cave was, and the dad said, it belongs to Bagman. And he's saying that he's going to tell him the story that his father told him and his father's father before him. They say he wanders the world each night, searching for children to stuff in that awful bag of his, and not just any children. And he's like, let me guess, he wants the naughty children. And he's like, no, wrong, Patty. The good kids. Okay, you're just teaching your kid to be a bad kid if you're telling him that the Bagman takes good kids. And also, if that's the case, why is he saying that the Bagman takes good kids? the dad's telling the kid like you should be scared, and it's hopping between two shots, one close up of the dad where he's got his arms down at his side, and one where he's holding on to the kid, but it's going back and forth between those, so it's supposed to be the same moment. But wow, what a continuity. Not, I normally am one who like forgives every continuity error normally because they tend to be AD's faults because they're setting backgrounds. So like continuity stuff in the background can get kind of messy. But that's because ADs have a lot of jobs. I am an AD and I have messed up continuity before. So that's just not to talk like mad shit, you know? Uh but now the mom and dad are going through a bunch of his old drawings, and uh Wumi's like, that's what I mean about a persistent phobia. Uh, uh, yeah, and she's saying the familiar lore that provoked his anxiety, something, something. She's like, as you can see, the so called bag or sack man, I think it is so much funnier to call him sack man. What? He's getting called sack man the rest of the movie now. Uh, she's like, he has the power to paralyze and incapacitate parents and adults, and feeds off the child's fear and anxiety. It sustains him, watches him. He can lure children to his lair with toys or candy, and when a child is at their most terrified, he steals them away in a sack or bag. Uh, okay. They're telling, she's saying the like, you're projecting the supernatural onto something all too painfully real. And they mean like a fake robbery, or like an attempted robbery. But uh, no, they should be worried about a potential kidnapping. That's crazy. I know that I'm just really hanging on this, but okay, they're going to see the sister now. Um, and the sister, okay, booked them, the mom and dad, a hotel room, and they're like, there's no way we're sleeping away from Jakey right now. And they're like, anytime you need us back, we'll be 5 minutes away tops. It's like, okay, so there's somebody who may or may not be after your child, and your solution is to stay at a hotel without your child. What a fucking choice, dude. I mean, I almost respect the idiocy of it. Like, just what are you guys up to? Okay. So he's like, so what's the verdict? Is your husband nuts? Uh, that's the husband asking the wife that, and she agreed. Yeah. She's like, so what actually happened to you and Liam at the mine? And he's like, oh, cut off a lock of his hair. I thought this whole time he had cut off part of uh the hat, but uh yeah, apparently the bagman in the lore uh clips off something from you for the kids that he likes. And he's like, so you can't run or hide. Um it's the Patrick's like saying how furious the uh the mom was. Okay. uh he's like, your mother wants me to tell you there's no such thing as Bagman, but I'm afraid I can't do that. What I can do is tell you a secret. He don't want you to know. The truth is, no matter how big or fast or sneaky he has weaknesses as well. Escape his grasp long enough, he'll run away. And he cannot lay a single skinny finger on you as long as you have this, and it's a whittled something. Said, see, every kid's got something that means more to them than everything else in the world. Something they love so much, it literally becomes a piece of who they are. Is it? He's like, and a child's love is a magical thing. It was not the whittled thing. The dad had taken something from out the child's pillow and was like, you keep this close to you and he cannot touch you. And then opens it. It's his switchblade, the one that he broke a little bit ago. So that's why Bagman's able to come for him. But he had a fucking switchblade. That was the child's toy that means more to him than anything else in the world. Oh, that's so dumb. He's like, so you keep a hold of it no matter what. Uh, and the wife's like, and now you're concerned that the flute has gone missing. The only thing that can supposedly protect Jake from the Bagman. Uh, Dad's like, honestly, the only thing I want to do is go back home and dig through the trash again. Okay. They're not going to. They're going to try to be reasonable, which is the dumbest thing that you can do in a horror movie. Don't try to be reasonable, accept that everything has gone to shit and you need to try to make it stop going to shit. Or you need to be scared. Okay. It's another drone shot establishing a tall building somewhere. Oh, it's the sister's place where she's talking on the phone while watching Jakey on the monitor, baby monitor. Did she just close the baby monitor? Oh no, it's sitting on a different shelf. Okay. Uh, she's just talking on the phone, watching the baby monitor. Is she gonna go check on him? Because I would still want to lay eyes on the baby. Um, uh, the reception is bad, and now it's cutting out the footage of Jakey. And she can hear him crying, and the baby monitor, got real staticky, and then she dropped it. Okay. And now she's gone over to his room. Is he there? I couldn't see. It went too fast. If he wasn't, I'm sure she'll start calling out Jakey. But she's just slowly walking around her house now looking scared. So I guess he was there. She's walking so slow. She's calling down a speaker. And she's like, I'm hearing a voice on the baby monitor. Like, you'd think this woman would be told that there may or may not be a kidnapper after your small child. And now all the lights flicker and go off. She calls down again. And nobody answers because obviously she's like, has there been a power surge? She doesn't go over to the child. Did they not tell her that, like, this child probably has a kidnapper after him? Now she's hearing a bunch of banging from the room that the child's in on the window because she's stupid and did not, or like the parents are stupid and didn't tell her that, like, hey, somebody keeps banging on the window that our child's living in. You'd think that'd be an issue, but okay. It wasn't important enough to tell her. Something creepy popped out of the dark, and she's screaming, I don't know what you want from me, but the cops are on their way. And there's more banging. She's like, did I mention I have a gun? Do you? Do you, girl? She's like, don't play with me, motherfucker. And now the chain lock came undone on its own. The deadbolt's coming undone. She's trying to lock it back, and it just keeps coming undone. And she's running away. And she's like, I'm gonna call the police, but she already did call the police, and now she's grabbing a knife, which you think you would have done before if you're like threatening. Oh god, that's terrifying though. She's holding the child in one hand, but then also has the knife like wrapped around the back of the child with her. And I'm like, you're gonna stab the little kid on accident. You're already making a bunch of wrong choices, and now that. Okay, so she is in a closet. Good job picking a place that didn't have a lock. Uh, okay, and she's looking straight up against the slats in the closet, making herself very visible. And she's just breathing heavy, and there are footstep sounds. Okay. Uh, the bagman, I imagine. Oh, oh, oh. Bagman opens the door. Oh, God. And puts his hand over the woman's mouth and then slow pulls the blanket down. The parents are back. It's, I literally can't believe, where is the child? Uh, oh, okay. Um, Jakey is fine. The cops got him. Uh, you'd think at this point they would understand that somebody's after your child. Whether it's supernatural or not, somebody's after your child, and you're just trying to convince yourself at all times that, uh, that, oh, nothing bad is happening because supernatural stuff isn't real. It's like, okay, that doesn't mean that kidnappers aren't real. Nah. Uh, oh, talking about the kid from the beginning of the movie. Uh, yeah, the dad the first dad from the beginning was paralyzed and said that he saw his daughter shoved into a duffel bag and then ran off. Um, the cops are like, "Don't worry, Pat, we're gonna catch this sick bastard." So Patrick now has found out that another family was or had their daughter stolen by a bagman. Where's the son? They're like walking into this safe house, but I don't see their kid. Okay. Uh, they're trying to figure out what paralyzed Anna, and the doctors don't have a freaking clue. It's like, well, you know that that's something that the bagman does. Just go ahead and tell your friends the reality of it. My friends, I think that they trust me enough that if I told them, like, straight up, there is something supernatural happening and we do need to take it seriously, and I was like dead ass serious, I genuinely believe that my friends love and respect me enough to, like, at least consider that I'm not insane and that there, like, might be supernatural stuff happening. You don't know. One time I thought I saw something like tiny running at me, and my brain was legit like, oh, this is a little goblin. You need to just accept that little goblins exist and go on with your life before it gets to you, because this is going to be an issue for you if you're like standing around being like, oh, how could this be real? Handle the issue, then deal with the implications of that later. That is how you handle supernatural business. You get used to the concept of it real fast, and then you just go. Um, uh, they're at their friend's house now where they're trying to stay because their child keeps getting almost abducted. Uh, yeah, you think they would have gone somewhere else sooner, but that's fine. Uh, they went to the sister's house. The parents just chose not to stay at the sister's. Oh my god, the child's on a baby monitor again. You guys, the child's on a fucking baby monitor. Watch your kid. Your kid's almost been kidnapped 3 separate times. You believe in the supernatural stuff. And even if you didn't, your child's almost being kidnapped. Why do you keep putting him on a baby monitor? Also, the baby monitor glitched out and went away, and you like multiple times, and you weren't able to see what was happening with him. That's not acceptable. Uh, so they're just okay. The mom's like, I can't believe this is happening. What do we do if he really does exist? You, and she's like, and we lost the one thing in the whole world that could keep our son safe. Well, you know what would help is if you kept him in the room with you. I know that the bagman can paralyze you and steal your child anyways, but at least for the love of God, stop putting your child in a different fucking room while there is a supernatural kidnapper after him, like after him specifically. And you know that it's not just that there's like a supernatural kidnapper on the loose. It's not even it. At least it is after pretty much any children, but this is the lore means that it's after your child specifically. There's a sound on the baby monitor. Is there sound on? I wonder if something's up with the child. I fucking wonder. It's glitching out like it did before. It glitched out plenty before. Uh, Glitched out again, and the bagman's face popped up. And now he's like, the dad's running. He's like, Jake, Jake. Ew. They're gross sounds. The bagman is, uh, 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 the, what the fuck? There's, uh, the bagman got Jake and put him in the bag, it appears, and then is running away with him. One of the cops who was watching the house appears to be dead on the front lawn, Now all the lights are turning off as they run through. Oh, good on that actor. Oh, wow. That was a giant hurdle. And it stayed on the actor's face as he like straight jumped over a fence. Good on that actor. That was not a small jump that he had to do. That was like a full blown hurdle. And a stunt person didn't do it. He did it. That was great. But he's chasing the bagman and screaming, "Stop right there." It's like, you allowed a supernatural entity to steal your child. I don't think shouting at him's really going to do much. This isn't it, where shouting at him did literally do a lot. It did everything. That was the point of what happened in it. Um, this one, I mean, I don't think shouting down the bagman's going to do it. The dad chased the bagman all the way back to the cave where, uh, and it had a little flashback to, oh, him as a kid being scared of the cave. But now the dad is walking into the cave because he heard Jakey shouting his name. He tripped. It's extremely dark on screen, so this will be interesting trying to make out what's happening. This is Game of Thrones season 8 episode 3 because I can't see shit right now. The little kid is crying, the dad is screaming. Oh, little kid goes, "Daddy, what happened?" Oh, now the dad's trying to climb through a small space to try to get to Jakey. It is pitch black on screen right now. It is. I am working out from context clues what's happening. The dad's screaming. He's like, "Ah!" It looks like he's maybe lifting something heavy, but you can't see because the screen is literally pitch black. It's not pitch black on purpose. I'm certainly supposed to be seeing something, but they just really overestimated how dark the theater I was going to see it in. Joke's on them, I'm not in a theater. Make your movies bright so I can watch them at the drive-in. That's my request. I would really like that and appreciate that from all filmmakers. Thank you guys. Okay. So, oh, he's now the dad, Patrick, is now in a room where it's filled with candles. And the dad's still screaming, "Jake." Uh, and he finds a pair of binoculars. Dad does, in a basket, in like a woven basket. There's like a lot of like woven basket like things around, and a lot of candles. As whatchamacallit would call it, Jack from Golden Bachelorette. Like, there's got to be 72 candles in this room. I haven't seen anything like this since Mexico, and even that didn't even come close, which was awesome. The Golden Bachelorette is incredible. Okay, the dad, Patrick, uh, is now slowly walking through this. He pulls a curtain out of the way, and I've yet to see what is behind that curtain. It's he sees a bag, and now he's unzipping it. Oh, the zips are so loud and weird. The dad opens it, and inside is the creepy doll again, the creepy carved doll. Okay, so your child's not in that bag. Keep going, your child might be in a different bag. He's like checking out the doll. He takes the doll out and is like checking it out. But buddy, your child's still missing. What the fuck are you looking at this doll for? Even if it's like a deeply fascinating doll, why aren't you going and looking for your kid? Okay, it's got cogs in it. Oh, He's got a little music box in him that says, Daddy, Daddy, what happened? It's crazy that he wouldn't have kept looking for his child, but instead checked out the doll, and then the doll did end up having something weird. So he smashes it on the ground. Uh, and now the mom found the child back at home. And the sister is with the mom and Jakey. Oh, she's like, what's happening? And he's like, it's not Jake that he came for. It's Patrick. And Patrick's in the den and he's like, show yourself, you sick bastard. Show yourself. And he's looking down at a pit that seems to go on forever that has more candles in it when he is already part of the way down in a pit of candles. Okay, so he's in the bag. Oh, and a hand uh, puts it over his face and pulls him up against a wall and then throws him. Ooh. Uh, oh, creepy hands are crawling. Uh, it appears to be the Bagman is after Patrick. Ugh. So Bagman's got like a hood that's covering his face partially, and his mouth is really gross, and he like growls and like snarls. It's like for and then it's having flashbacks to Patrick's dad telling him the lore of the Bagman. He's like, it's the good kids he wants, the shiny kids and the dreamers. So since the dad gave up his goals, uh he put his stuff into the trash. Uh he's not a go-getter anymore. He's a quitter. Uh he's having another flashback to the dad saying about the knife. Oh, he's like, lose it or even worse, throw it away. Oh my god, dude, they don't expect me to remember one single thing that happened in this entire movie because now they're having a flashback to him throwing away his knife. Dude, I am literally talking through the entirety of this movie. 100% of this movie I am talking through. And even I followed along well enough to know what was happening, and they still had to give me like 3 flashbacks stacked on top of each other. Fascinating. And the dad's like, bad things do happen to good people. Oh my god. So the bagman appears to have like stroked Buddy's face. And Patrick's having a flashback, another one now, of his child playing flute in the woods. And it went cut to black. Now it shows uh, okay, they're talking. Patrick's dad in the flashback is talking about how he keeps going because he believes there's good out there no matter what. And Patrick's paralyzed by the bagman, but he's turning over his hand and reaching for something as the bagman's trying to zip him up. Uh, what's he reaching for? Young Patrick's asking his dad, oh, about if good people exist. Oh, Patrick grabbed, I think, a knife or something and is stabbing the bagman. Where'd he get a fucking knife? What's happening? Okay, Patrick. He's pulling himself out of the bag now. He appears to have stabbed the shit out of the bagman, and that made it. The car next to me just pulled off. The car next to me gave up, and we do not have much of this movie left. But they were like, nah, fuck this. Did he just kill the bagman and that was it? Oh no, bagman hops out, and now they're fist fighting. He's fist fighting a supernatural entity? Why? I'm confused about the bagman's powers. And is he just a really good puncher? Now it's a bunch of flashbacks. It's like a montage of flashbacks. Don't understand why. The, the bagman's coming for him, and he's like, come on, it's me you want. Come on. And the bagman gets him, grabs him by the throat, is pulling him up. We get to see the bagman's face really well now. He looks so stupid. Oh, he looks so silly. And Bagman is shoving Patrick back in a bag again. Patrick, yep, gets zipped up in the bag. Okay, so, yeah, cool. Patrick's now been taken by the bagman. Uh, uh, they found the child's flute. All the cops have now shown up to the tunnel, and they found Jake's flute. So, and then she's like, Pat, Pat. And then she's running. This is the wife. And she's just screaming Pat's name. Oh, man, this is a fountain Coke. So good. Mm. So, wife is still just screaming Pat's name. It faded to black again. And now cuts to the little boy on a little scooter. And he's running around. The wife's wife's the wife is packing up to go to her sister's house because she's like, I can't be here without Pat. So he's just like gone. She's like, and it's not over yet either. She's like, he's gonna come back for Jake. I can just feel it. That's literally how she delivered that. That was fascinating. She's like, sister's like, what are you gonna do? And the sister goes, whatever it takes. You know what it probably takes is sleeping in the same room as your toddler for like just a little bit, just during the time when he's got somebody coming after him. But I swear to God, if I see that child on the baby monitor one more time, I'm gonna lose my shit. But all right, the uh, sisters, the mom is crying and packing up and drives away. And it's a drone shot. For 2 seconds, I really thought they were about to end the movie and that they were like dead set on getting a sequel. She's driving and she sees Patrick in a photo. Uh, 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 she's like, I got some good news for you, pal. Look, and then hands him his flute. And she's like, and Daddy told me a secret that he really wants you to know. Like, so how much do you love food, Jakey? And she's like, so child's love is a magical thing. Uh, it's doing a bunch of flashbacks now. She's teaching the child to always keep the flute with him, always. The music's really making it seem like this is the end of the movie. We're at 95 minutes now, so I guess we'll figure out if this movie intends to get a sequel or if it's going to run a little long and have some weird ending. Um, it cut to black. It cut to black. End credits. This movie. This movie thinks it's getting a sequel. Who's the second? I don't recognize the first or second. Your girl just got her first second job. So yeah, I'm gonna get to be a second. I'm so excited. Uh, I can't believe that that was the movie. Stunt people, any that we know? No. Okay. There's a lot of like Russian looking last names. I wonder where this was filmed. Uh, but it didn't say like what unit or whatever. I can't believe this movie thinks it's getting a sequel. It didn't just sequel bait. It literally didn't end. The woman said like, and it's not over yet. I know he's after Jakey. So we didn't kill the bad guy, like nothing happened. The dad got taken by the bad guy, and that's it. That's how the movie ends. Is the dad got taken from the bad guy. Do they really they plan to end the movie with a second movie? I'm astounded because I could not watch more of that. That was rough. That was stupid. I was really worried when I titled this watching a bad movie at the drive-in that the movie was going to end up being like incredible and that it would be a clickbait title and I'd have to change it. Um, Yo, Kyoshi, I thought you had to leave. Uh, it's nice to see you again. Uh, 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 yeah, and thank you very much. That's so sweet of you. Um, yeah, that movie was very stupid. That movie, that was not a clickbait title. That movie was dumb as hell. But yeah, I'm about to uh hop off here. No. uh uh but thank you for watching and definitely keep doing so, you know? Um yeah, I hope you have uh a really, really awesome night. You also shouldn't give your number to any streamers, anyways. That's a terrible plan. Just because some streamers are really, or random strangers in general, are just going to be sketch. So don't mess with them. Uh, uh, yeah, I hope that you have a really beautiful night. Thank you for watching, y'all. That was a good time, even though it was a very stupid movie. I had a really great time hanging out and watching it, anyways. So, yeah, sleep well, unless it's the early morning for you, or literally any time of day in which you're not going to sleep. All right. Y'all are all beautiful. Have a great evening or whatever. Bye.